I would like to welcome you to this review and practice lesson in English. It's intended for first year baccalaureate students. This lesson is going to review English tenses. As you can see, the English tenses can be divided into three parts: present, past, future. We're going to start first with the present tense. The present tense is also subdivided into four parts: present simple, present continuous, present perfect, and present perfect continuous. For present simple, as I'm going to show in this example, or these examples, this is present simple. She, she speaks English well. They don't live here. Do you have any friends? Any tense can be in three different forms: affirmative, negative, or interrogative. Well, the present simple, normally, as you can see, the verb speaks here is in the present simple. And as you can see, there is an S at the end of the verb here because we have the third person singular. So whenever we have a third person singular person, like he, she, or it, we add S or ES or IES to the verb. Number two, they don't live here. This sentence is in the negative form. Now, how do we make the negative or change the verb from affirmative into the negative? By adding don't or doesn't, depending on which pronouns we have. Here we have a sentence in the interrogative form. So, as you know, in the interrogative form, we have to make inversion of subjects and verb, and to do this, we start with the auxiliary verb do plus subjects plus verb. Now, these are examples of the different forms of verb in present simple. When do we use present simple? We use it when we are speaking about habitual actions, when we are speaking about facts, and when we speak about actions that last for a long time. Speak, this is a fact. Don't live here, also we are speaking about a fact. And do you have any friends? I'm inquiring or asking information about something. Now, past or present continuous. Present continuous, like he is doing his prayer. Now, two, you aren't listening to me. 3, Are you doing or are you playing any sports this quarantine period? This is present continuous. Present continuous is made by the auxiliary verb to be plus verb plus ing. He is doing his prayer. Now, here also, so this is affirmative, this is negative, and this is interrogative. As you can see, we can make a version of subject and verb by putting the auxiliary before the subjects. Now, when do we use present continuous? Normally we use it when we are speaking about something taking place at the time of speaking, at the moment. Or when we are speaking about something taking place these days. It has a beginning and it has an end. That's why we call it also temporary present, because it's not going to last for long. Now, we'll see present perfect. As in the following examples, he has lived here for 10 years, or for, let's say, for 2 years now. 2, they haven't been abroad yet. 3, have you ever visited London? This is present perfect. Present perfect is made with the auxiliary verb have. We can say have or has, depending on what person we are speaking about, plus the past participle of the verb. If the verb is regular, it ends with ed. If it is irregular, of course, you have to know how to conjugate it. Then, number 2, they haven't been abroad yet. The verb here is negative, here affirmative, here negative, and here, have you ever visited London? This is interrogative. Now, when do we use present perfect? We use it normally when we are speaking about an action that started in the past and continues in the present, or an action that is finished in the past and its results continues in the present. Now we'll see the present perfect continuous. I'm going to clean this part here. Present perfect continuous. As you will see in these examples, I have been waiting for you for 2 hours. Okay, we'll stop here. Right? So I have been waiting for you for 2 hours. The present perfect continuous is made with the auxiliary verb to be, have or has, plus the past participle of the verb to be, been, plus verb plus ing. Now, and as you can see, there is a time expression here that tells us that the action lasts or lasted for a long time, more than necessary. So I have been waiting. We use it normally to give more focus that the action started and continued for more than necessary, or that the results of the action that is finished in the past also lasted for a long time until it becomes really annoying. Now, this is for present simple. Now we'll see past present forms. Now we see the past forms. So past, we have number one, past simple. As we are going to see in these examples, he went to supermarket yesterday. Two, they didn't come home early last night. Three, did you see the film I told you about? Okay, so this is past simple. The verb went here is in the past simple. The infinitive or the present is go, and this is an irregular verb. Here we have time expressions telling us that the action is finished and is over in the past. It's achieved in the past, and it has nothing to do with the present. This is affirmative. In the negative form, of course, we make the verb negative by adding didn't plus the infinitive of the verb. They didn't come home early last night. Here also the action is finished because last night is the past. And to make a question, we have to make inversion of the subject and verb by starting our question with the auxiliary verb did plus subjects plus the verb in the infinitive. And of course here we have a question mark. For this question we can answer either yes or no. Yes, I did, or no, I didn't. Now, two, we have past continuous. As in the following example, he was watching TV when his phone rang. Two, you weren't watching, or you weren't sleeping when I came home. Three, what were you doing when the accident took place? This is the past continuous. It is made with the auxiliary verb to be in the past, was or were, plus verb plus ing. Here, like for example, he was watching when his phone rang. You weren't sleeping when I came home. That is to say, when I arrived home, you were still watching TV or doing something. Then number 3, what were you doing when the accident happened? Here, I would like you to tell me what action was taking place when another action happened in the past. Now, just I want to remind you that past continuous is never used by itself unless it answers a question. What you were doing when the accident happened? I was crossing the street, for example, or I was waiting for my friend. But when we use it in a sentence, it has to be used with another verb because it tells us that one action was in progress, either when it was interrupted by another short action that happened all of a sudden, or to tell us that 2 simultaneous actions were taking place at the same time. Like for example, while I was reading the newspaper, my wife was preparing dinner. Now, past perfect like he had finished the report before he went on holiday. Okay, so the past perfect is made with the verb have in the past, had, plus the past participle of the verb. Past perfect normally is used with the past simple. It tells us that an action happened before another. Now, what is the purpose of using past perfect? Is just to arrange or to give some chronology to the action to actions in the past. That is, he finished his reports, then he went. So first he finished his reports, then he went on a holiday, not before that. There are some time expressions or adverbs that tells us when an action happened before or after another. And finally, past perfect continuous, as in the example, they had been living here for 10 years. For 10 years before they moved abroad. The past perfect continuous is made with the verb have in the past, had, plus the past participle of the verb to be been, plus verb plus ing. And what is the purpose of using past perfect continuous? Is just to give more focus that an action lasted for a long time in the past before it was interrupted by another action also in the past. So they had been living for 10 years, and mostly there is an adverb of time that tells us that this action lasted more than necessary before it was interrupted in the by another action. Now we'll see the future. Future, we have also 3 or 4 different types. So this is future. Number 1, future simple. Maybe, as we can see in the examples, maybe it will rain again tomorrow. So here the future simple is made with the modal verb will in the present plus the main verb in the infinitive. Will rain again. And there should be an adverb of time here referring to the future, telling us that this action probably or perhaps or maybe will take place in the future. When we use future simple, of course we are not sure or 100% sure that the action will take place, but there is a 50% probability. Now we have future continuous, like by October next year will be studying in the second year baccalaureate. All right. The verb here is made with the verb will. This is the short form of will, I'll, plus be, plus verb, plus ing. Now, what is the use of present of future continuous? It tells us that at a certain point of time in the future, an action will be in progress. It hasn't started yet, but at a certain point of time, it will be in progress. October hasn't come yet, but when it comes, already an action will be in progress. Then we have future perfect. Future perfect, like by August we will have graduated from school. Okay, so the future perfect is made here with will plus have plus the past participle of the verb, which means now what is the use of future perfect? It tells us that the action will be finished at a certain time in the future. All right, so I think this is all about tenses. I'm sorry because of the time constraints. We won't have time to do some exercises, but we'll do them sometime later. You can refer to my recording on Telmetis for more details.